G'day guys and welcome back to another video on my channel, Nintendo Down Under. A new Donkey Kong game on the Nintendo Switch. I have done a few videos on this in the past because the rumors were churning that a new Donkey Kong game could be coming to the Nintendo Switch, but it looks like that may never happen. Can you believe it? The Nintendo Switch, it is the most successful home Nintendo console, and if you told me that the most successful home Nintendo console would never have a new Donkey Kong game bar Tropical Freeze port, you're dreaming, mate. But it looks like that's gonna be reality. We're gonna get stuck into all of this right now. So Donkey Kong Country Returns and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze were two great games made by Retro Studios. Now, Retro Studios, I highly doubt, are currently working on a new Donkey Kong game because Retro Studios is busy. Their head is in the clouds, in the ground, in the computers. They are doing Metroid Prime 4, and the hype for Metroid Prime 4 is huge. It was announced so long ago, everyone is so keen on this game, so all their efforts would be focused on Metroid Prime 4, so it's very unlikely that Retro Studios that did such a great job on the last Donkey Kong games would be working on a Donkey Kong game right now. It's been
84 years.
23 years, guys. 23 years since Donkey Kong got a 3D adventure game with Donkey Kong 64 on the Nintendo 64. It was hit with mixed reviews. Some people really enjoyed the concept from going to 2D to 3D, collecting all the different things. A 3D adventure was awesome. Some people, it did not sit well with them because, and I can see the point as well, with a massive collectathon, lots of backtracking. It wouldn't be so bad if you had to collect lots of things, but because you had to use 5 different Kongs to collect different color bananas in the same areas, in the same scenarios, lots of backtracking, it got tedious, it got tricky, and it was really hit with mixed reviews. And because it's been 23 years since we've had a 3D adventure, it's very unlikely that Nintendo would want to go down this path again. Personally, I think they really need to go down this path with Donkey Kong, but it doesn't look like they want to do that right now. Things I have spoken about in the past that we have covered before in older videos is that the next Donkey Kong game was going to be 2D, which in my opinion is a mistake. 2D gaming is just not hitting it like it used to be. As a Nintendo fan, a Donkey Kong fan, I would still play it, I would still buy it, and I would still enjoy it. But with such poor sales on Tropical Freeze, it could spell the end for Donkey Kong for a while, with only 2.65 million copies sold of that game. And those poor 2.65 million copy sales is not because the game was bad. Retro Studios did an awesome job with Tropical Freeze. The artwork, the display, the movement, and the mechanics, it is a beautifully done game, but it just did not pique the interest of gamers. It just did not do that well. Is that because it is a 2D game? If you compare that 2.65 million copies sold, we'll compare it to some of Nintendo's best 3D adventure games. Zelda Breath of the Wild sold 25.8 million copies, and Super Mario Odyssey has sold 23 million copies. And when you compare that to Donkey Kong's 2.65 million copies, it just shows people are really up for those 3D adventures. 2D, not so much now. In saying that though, Tropical Freeze was not marketed at all by Nintendo. It was really just ported, slapped with a Switch sticker, put on the console. Maybe if they did some better marketing, promoted the game, gave it a chance with a new game, then yes, it might have a chance. But does Nintendo really want to go to all that effort of spending money, marketing a game that may not sell well, when they can easily just pump out a new Mario game that could get 20 million copies sold very easily? But Nintendo's best-selling 2D games on the Nintendo Switch are both Mario games. Super Mario Maker 2 and Super Mario Deluxe, both about 10 million copies each, That's way more than what Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze did. A good example of this was Kirby Star Allies. That game was marketed very well. Lots of trailers, lots of promotion, and it was made in the middle of Nintendo Switch's hype, right when it was booming, but it still sold very poorly with only 2.9 million copies, which was a massive letdown for Nintendo. There's a massive and huge Donkey Kong community out there like me that love the gorilla, love the game, can't wait to get a new one. But does Donkey Kong appeal to casual gamers anymore? Does Donkey Kong appeal to new gamers growing up in our generation? Do they want to get these games, or is it just us nostalgic people that have grown up playing the Donkey Kong that would just love a new game? Nintendo will definitely be watching the next Donkey Kong game they make to see how it goes, because it really is crunch time for them. Nintendo has so many different IPs they are sitting on that don't really get the time and light, and they can't put them all out. If Donkey Kong does not sell well in the next release, whenever that is or whatever that is, then its IP will be bumped down even lower and other IPs might get a chance. So it's very crucial that they do the next Donkey Kong, they do it right, they promote it right to give it its best chance. It's crazy to think that I'm making a video about this. A couple of years ago, if you said to me I'm making a Donkey Kong video because we haven't got one, I would say you're nuts. Nintendo, they just do not trust us anymore to buy a new Donkey Kong game. Nintendo, they do not trust Donkey Kong to appeal to us anymore. I really think Nintendo, when they make the next game, it has to be 3D. 2D is just not happening anymore. Yes, it may appeal to the nostalgic gamers, but 3D adventuring is where the gaming community is going. And they could really, it needs to change. It needs to be tweaked. They can't do a backtracking collectathon like they did with Donkey Kong 64. It needs to be fun. Every time you're collecting something, you are going somewhere new. Every time you're doing something, you're going somewhere new. You're learning something. It's challenging. It's different. It keeps us entertained. We can't go back to the DK64. Even though I enjoyed that game, I can see the gripe there. If they get the open world 3D game right, then it could open a whole new chapter of different Donkey Kong games they could do into the future, but they just need to nail it and get that right. But then I could be wrong about everything here I've just said, and I could wake up tomorrow morning and Nintendo have announced a new Donkey Kong game for the Nintendo Switch Christmas 2022. But in the comments down below, guys, this is your time to let me know what you think. Are you traditional? Do you want to see DK stick to the 2D platform? Do you want Nintendo to push their boundaries and see 3D to see what they can do? It really is crunch time. It is crucial for Nintendo and for whatever retro studios or whoever's making the next game to get this right, because it really may decide the future of Donkey Kong. Because if it doesn't sell well, we may not see a DK game like your Star Fox at the moment, like F-Zero could be pushed away because it's not selling that well. But in the comments down below, let me know your thoughts on all of this. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and until next time, take care.